Hey everybody, it's Melanie from Hometown Paints, and my hat always looks crooked as soon as I do this. All right, I'm so excited to be here today, and I hope everything is working like it's supposed to work. All right, so my name is Melanie from Hometown Paints, and I'm going live in a few different places today. Check this. Going live in a few different places. One of which is Hometown Paints, which is my business page. So if you are on Hometown Paints with me today, thank you for hanging out. But this is for my buddy Suze, who actually lives in England. So I'm so excited to be on her page. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me. All right, so Suze lives in England, and I live near Nashville, Tennessee in the United States. So this is super exciting for me. I cannot wait to paint with everybody. So I'm going to be referring to a couple of different documents today. Those documents are uploaded in Suze's group. Her group is Makers Gonna Make. So if you have not followed her group yet, if you're not joined that group, you are going to need to hop over there to the Makers Gonna Make group, and I will post the link later. Hopefully Suze or someone else can post it for me in this live, and you can get these documents that I'm going to be referring to. The other thing that I'm giving you guys today is a tracer, and to get this tracer, you go to my website. That's www.hometownpaints.com, and you can just download this tracer for free. Everything's free today. Isn't that exciting? The other thing I did for you guys was I made a reel. Do you guys even know what that is? It's like a TikTok, but Facebook has reels now. They're very exciting. I made a reel that's a real fast video that shows you how to use this tracer. So I'm going to switch these screens around, and I always mess it up. So, and I did. All right, so hopefully you can see the painting bigger and I'm small. So that's what we're aiming for here. Okay, so what we're painting today is this fun little Christmas painting. And I wore my Christmas hat and my Christmas sweatshirt, but you can't see it because of my smock. But isn't that fun? I'm really excited to do it. All right, so real quick, I will explain. Where am I going to put this? I will explain how to use the tracer, but I did do that in that reel, so you can go back and look at that reel. But this tracer is on my website. You can just print it out. It's a PDF document. It's 2 documents, and you're going to have to tape them together. So no big deal, just some clear tape. But the other thing that you need is carbon paper, and mine is all taped together in a hot mess. But you lay down the carbon paper, you lay the shiny side down. One side is shiny and one side's not. You lay that down, you put your tracer on top, you line it up real good, and then you just trace it, y'all. You just trace the whole thing. So it's pretty easy, but it's kind of tedious and like not exciting. So I figured I would do that part off camera. Okay, so I also, for the sake of the camera, I traced over the tracing with a Sharpie, just a normal Sharpie, no big deal. But if you are really wanting to make sure that you can see your lines, then you might want to do the Sharpie thing too. But the only disclaimer about using a Sharpie is that sometimes paint won't cover it. So if you're okay with the black line being there, then use a Sharpie and you can see everything. Okay, so your color list is in the files on the Makers Gonna Make page, okay? So if you don't have all of these exact colors, let me hold this up, then it's not a huge deal. You can just kind of grab, whatever you have that is sort of in the same color, because really you can paint your car and you can really do this however you want to do it. It's your painting. And I've also included step-by-step instructions, so if you learn better just reading, then I got you. Okay, So I already have all my paint colors out on my paper plate, which is what I use for a palette. And you are first going to just use some black and white. So I'm just using black and white craft paint, and I'm mixing it together into a gray that I like. You know, it's up to you. Whatever kind of gray you like. You can use a 1-inch brush. I'm actually using like a 1/2 inch brush. Got a mess over here. And you're just gonna fill it in. It's no big stress, and I don't like that. It's too dark. You can, if you have a gray already like mixed up in a bottle, you know, you can use that. Whatever makes you happy. That's what we're here to do today. Just have fun and make some art and be happy and joyful and do something to get our mind off of the crazy world. That's what art does for you. I'm going to squirt some more white out. So if you are hanging out with me this morning, tell me hello. Tell me what, well, I was going to say tell me what your name is, but I probably can see what your name is. Tell me where you're from. How about that? Tell me where you're from. I think some of my paint is getting funky because it's getting chunky and funky. So I am trying to brush this on in this direction. Okay, so you can use a bigger brush. So like, don't get a liner brush out, but just use one of your bigger brushes that you have, like a flat brush or an angled brush, and you're just gonna go around your trees to the best of your ability, and I'm gonna paint right over those loops. But my paint strokes are going from left to right or right to left. Okay. Now, if you have trouble doing that, like if you get like in these weird spots going around these trees, if you are like, I can't make that paint stroke do that, then just get the paint on there. And then while it's still wet, we can kind of, I don't know, mush it around, rub it around, and it'll look right. So this is a fun painting, you guys. I don't know. I feel like these little VW bugs are like for hippies. And even though I'm a country girl from Tennessee, I feel like I should have been born in like the 60s so I could be a flower child. But anyways, I've always wanted one of these cars. I do not have one because I have 2 children and they will not fit in there. I need an SUV to get my 15-year-old and my 13-year-old in and out and around the universe. So I'm just kind of blobbing this on, you guys, because I'm just trying to fill it in. This is just a background. Obviously, it's not super important because what's important is what's going on in the rest of the painting. So I'm not worried about it too much. Why does that just looked really wrong to me, but now see it. So that paint, I put it on there a little strange. So I'm going to go back and just kind of like smooth that out a little bit. And I just keep dipping my brush into the white and a little bit into the black to get that gray. And if it's too dark, if I get it on my canvas and it's too dark, then you just dip back into white and put some white back over it. All right, so I'm gonna go down to about right there. Get back over here. So y'all tell me how y'all are doing today. Anybody in England over there? What time is it over there? I always get mixed up. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning over here. I have been to Europe 4 times. And I've been to England once. We just went to London and like Stonehenge, but I haven't been to Europe since the good old pandemic happened. But hopefully one day I'll get back over there because I absolutely love it over there. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm in Tennessee. That is near Nashville, Tennessee. Most people have heard of Nashville in the world. It's the country music capital, I guess you could call it. Country Music Hall of Fame is here. Lots of country music stuff. I was born and raised here. My grandfather was a musician, and he played the steel guitar and brought his family down here probably when my mom was in high school, and they just never left. He traveled all over the world too. I think that's probably why that has always been something that I love to do. I love to travel. Elizabeth said it's 4:10 in London. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. All right, so I have the sky background in there. It's just kind of various gray colors. It's not exciting, not one bit. It's just gray, but we don't care because we are about to make the car super duper exciting. All right, and the bottom down here, guess what? It's also gray. You might want to try to make it a little bit different color of a gray, but it is what it is. Just get it on there. Just fill it up. We're going to make it cute in a minute with some snow and jazz it all up. I painted my first one just like the example that I posted for you guys, and now that I've done the red car, like I feel like I need to do a pink car or a green car or something different. So if you guys do a different color car, well, if you paint this at all, please show us your paintings. Please, I'll make a post on the Maker's Gonna Make page, and you guys can upload them there when you're done. And if you are just realizing this is happening and you haven't got any of your stuff together, don't stress, because this video will be saved and all the documents are up there for you, like I said at the beginning, and you can go back at any time and paint this fun little thing. Fun. I paint all the time, all day long sometimes. I'd like to paint all day long, but honestly, doing this, you guys, you have so much like computer stuff you have to figure out, which is not my thing at all. That some days are filled with that. Some days are filled with computer days. And then if that's what happens, I have to come out here and paint for like 24 hours straight to get all that computer nonsense out of my head. All right, so we are going to let our background dry, and now we're going to paint the car. So if you aren't into a red car, then you can paint it whatever color you want to paint it. I'm using Tuscan red. I actually have this paint color. That's what was on the paperwork that I gave you guys. So I'm using Tuscan red, and I'm going to switch my brush just because I feel like it. You could use the same brush, but you do want a little bit smaller brush probably. And this is just, it says it's a number 8, which is pretty meaningless, but it's about a little less than a ½ inch, and it's a flat brush. So just use a smaller brush, you guys. You can pretty much use any brushes you want to, but the bigger brush, the bigger the brush is that you're using, obviously the more like surface area it's going to cover. And sometimes that's what you want. Like, you don't want to use a liner brush to paint in this whole car. You could, but it's going to take you more time than is necessary. So I'm not going to worry about painting around all these black lines because I can see them pretty clearly through this red. Pretty clear. So you're just, once you have it traced on there, sometimes this is almost just like filling in the paint, like a coloring book, y'all. Easy peasy. If you have any questions, let me know. Y'all should let me know how you know Suze. I've done different collaborations before, but this is the first time I've just come to someone else's page and painted, so I'm excited to be here. One of our other friends is coming live to paint some gnomes with you guys sometime this week. Her name's Wendy, and she lives over here in America too, but she lives in another state. And I love the way Wendy paints, you guys. I love her style, so I'm excited to see what she does, and I'm probably going to paint along with you guys too that day, if I'm not stuck on the computer doing something. And then I believe that also this week, our friend Jamie is coming on as well on the Maker's Gonna Make page. She does art journals. So I'm excited to see what she has coming up for you guys too. So again, if you are on one of my pages, my Hometown Paints page or something like that, you definitely want to go over and follow the Maker's Gonna Make page, because there's all kind of stuff coming up on there that's not just me. So I'm just filling this in. It's just Tuscan red. I've got a little less than a ½ inch flat brush, and I'm just filling it in. Okay, so if there's any spots, you can go back and smooth out your brush strokes, or you can leave it messy, cover up any white spots that you see. Sometimes red is really transparent, so if your red is feeling like that, you might want to dry this and come back and paint another coat on top of it, because you can see through it a little bit. And if you paint wet paint over wet paint, it just kind of moves it around. It doesn't really dry anything. Make sure you can see that. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. What next? I am gonna dry a little bit. The next part we're gonna do are the trees. And these trees are like, I don't know, I think of a Dr. Seuss tree. They don't look real. They're just kind of like whimsical and, I don't know, not real. All right, so that's pretty dry. I have gotten a few different colored greens out. Let's see. Your paper says to use Hauser dark green, festive green, and yellow green, but I'm not going to use that because I don't have it. So I'm using a Hauser medium green. I'm using a citron green, which is just a really like bright yellowy green. And then this is an apple barrel paint called New Shamrock. So they're just 3 totally like different shades of green. And that's all you want. If you've got 3 different shades of green, whatever they are, it's going to work for you. All right, before I do this green, I'm gonna just get out my brown, and the brown that I have is raw umber. I think yours says, what does it say? Dark chocolate. It don't matter, y'all. Brown, whatever brown. I'm using my liner brush, and I can still see the line of my black line back there where the trees connect, and I'm going to put that in first because I want the green to kind of cover it up a little bit. So both sides, just take your liner brush with whatever brown you have, and you're just making the tree, the whatever that's called, the part of the tree that's brown. Okay, so I'm gonna do that again, dry it. This little dryer, let me talk to y'all about this little dryer. It's pretty stinking handy. It's called a heated craft tool. I actually have it in my Amazon shop on my website. It is like a mixture of a heat gun and a hair dryer, and it's quieter and it dries quicker. My friend Wendy told me all about it, so let's all thank Wendy for that. All right, I need a drink of my breakfast, y'all. Hold on. I've been so busy out here this morning, I didn't get my protein shake drink this morning. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm using that 1/2 inch angled brush again, and I'm just going to kind of, just kind of like fill in the spots, just kind of blob it on, because it's supposed to be a tree. It's not supposed to look perfect. I'm going to bring mine around to the edge of my canvas. So I'm just blobbing it on. That's a technical term in the paint world. Blob your paint. I'm just kidding. Just get it on there. But when I said, like, I'm not doing this like paint strokes like this. I'm just like blotting it on. Maybe that's a better word. But just kind of fill in the triangle part. You're going to go over the brown part a little bit too. That's why we did that first. So it just looks more real. Not Facebook real, like REAL. So it's Monday morning over here, and I don't know why it's been a little bit crazy. Probably because I scheduled this. Oh, I got some red in there. Whoopsie. Got red in my tree. I'm going to pour out some more because I used too much. So that already kind of looks like a tree, right? Hopefully. You can't really see those black lines that well. That's good. Just kind of go over them and just keep blobbing away. Blob, 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 blob. And something else that I'm gonna use in a little while is a black paint pen. I don't think that's on your supply list and everything, but you can use something else. But I just want to, if you have one of those, you want to grab it, then good idea. All right, so that looks pretty decent on camera, y'all. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do just to like liven these trees up a little bit is I'm going to dip into those other greens. So I've got like a really bright, like a shamrocky green, and I'm just going to blob just like I did before. I'm not filling the whole thing in. I'm just putting some blobs in there. And it just gives it some texture and like some variation. Because if you look at a tree, if you look at the greenery on a tree, then it's different colors of green. Like there's lights and there's darks. And we're just trying to get that illusion of that effect. And I don't know if that even looks any different. I'm going to grab some of this citron green. I think yours says something else, yellow green, but it's the same thing. And just do the same thing, just a little bit, maybe not as much because it's bright. But I've got like dark green in there. I've got some yellow green highlight in there. And I don't know. You just want some variation. I'm still blobbing. Still blobbing. And that's very wet. There's all kinds of wet paint hanging out right there. All right. Look at those trees. They look pretty decent, don't they? Okay, I'm going to put my brush in the water and wash it out real fast. And let's look at the directions. What does it say to do next on the directions? It says to do our gift boxes. So that's what we'll do. Okay, I am getting that smaller flat brush that I use to paint the car in. Again, just use whichever. Choose whichever, whatever makes you happy. And I'm squirted out some bright blue, not true blue, bright blue. And here's the thing, like, this is another part that you can do however you want to do it. I'm gonna mix, this is like full color blue, and then I'm gonna mix it with some white, and then I'm gonna do some stripes. I did polka dots. Like, you could have, it's gift wrap, right? So you could have any kind of gift wrap that you want to have. If you want to get really creative and, I don't know, use all kind of different colors, definitely go for it. All right, so I am not being original at all. I'm going to do exactly what I did over there because I'm teaching you guys and I want you to get what you thought you were going to get, right? So I won't get crazy. I won't change it up. I'll show you just what it says. All right, so I'm just filling it in. I'm going over the black marks, which I can still see back there. Okay. Now I need some white to mix with my blue because I want something lighter. And mine still has red in it, so it's probably gonna be purple. I'm gonna do this one. And I'm gonna get more white out. I'm having trouble with my white paint today. None of it's working right. Y'all still doing good out there in the world, wherever you are? Y'all tell me where you are. Can't wait to hear all about it. Anybody have any questions or concerns? You can tell me that as well. Since I mixed this with white paint, it's probably not going to be a super consistent color, but I'm okay with that. Just didn't want it to be the same color as that package. All right, and then I'm going to take whatever's in my brush. I'm not even going to worry about it. And I'm going to make some stripes. And I just started at the corner and just drug my brush from one side to the other. Not a big deal. I actually didn't want that there, but I set my brush down, so that's where it is. Okay, so now I got stripes, so that looks like some fun presents to have, right? Okay, 2 ways to add polka dots. I am going to get my liner brush out and dip into the white and just draw some messy polka dots over here in this blue. And this blue is still wet, so it's kind of like grabbing some of that blue and putting it in there. Whatever kind of design you want. You don't even have to have designs. You can leave it just colorful packages, whatever. All right, so there's one way. Just draw some quirky looking squiggly dots on there. The other way is to take your brush and don't use the brush part. Use this part, the back side. Hey, Samantha, good morning. Where are you at, Samantha? Are you in California? I can't remember. Let's see. Elizabeth said, definitely going to paint this. Oh, yay, Elizabeth. That sounds exciting. I can't wait to see yours. Okay, so use the back of your paintbrush, not the brush part, the other side, and just dip it in the color, and then you can make polka dots like that, like little polka dots. Isn't that fun and easy? Even your little kiddos can do this, you guys. If you sit down and draw this out for them and help them, and I definitely know that little kids can do this one. And they will be so proud of themselves when they're done. So there's my dots. I'm going to wipe the back of my brush off so that I don't end up sticking my hand in that. Now I'm going to take yellow, just whatever yellow, and fill in my tail lights in my car. That looks a little better. Okay. What did I do next? Y'all? I cannot remember. Let's look at the directions. Well, or let's just wing it. That's how I like to live life. Just swing it. All right, I'm going to try to get this brush washed out because I'm going to just do solid white in a few places, and it's got red in it. All right, so I'm going to do white in my window back here. Just solid white. Just fill it in. Nothing too crazy. This also helps if you went a little bit crazy with your car color. Then you fill this in with white and it cleans everything up a little bit. And then we're going to trace around everything with black, and it's really going to clean everything up. So if you got a little messy, don't worry. We're going to fix it. I'm also going to put white in my license plate down here because I did make a mess. Made a big old mess. I'm still making a mess. Okay. The bumper of the car, I think it says that you guys are supposed to use silver. And guess what? I don't have any silver. So I'm going to mix up a darker gray because we have so much gray in here already, right? We got to do something a little bit different from the background and just fill it in with the darker gray. And we don't want it black because our tires are fixing to be black. So we're just filling it in. And you know, if your bumper needs to be pink or something crazy, it's your painting. You can do whatever you want. You can make it all kind of crazy. That's so much fun. I love to just do random things that don't make sense and see how it comes out. Okay, so I got that filled in. I might take just some more white and just kind of throw some streaks in there. I didn't wash my brush out, just kind of dab it in there. Now I am, whoops, that was loud. Sorry, y'all. I am going to wash my brush out and paint my tires in. So that's just straight black. And just fill it in. This is just like you're seeing the back of the tire. So now it's got tires. It's always a good thing for a car to have. Now let's see. I think what I'm going to do is dry it and switch to, what time is it? Okay, and switch to my paint pen real fast because honestly, you guys, if you have a paint pen, this painting is fun and easy, but it does have a lot of details. And if you don't have a paint pen, you can just use a liner brush, which is that little thin, tiny brush, the one I was using a minute ago. And dip it in your black paint and just go around everything that we're about to go around now. But it is a little more difficult to like keep your line straight and to keep the line the size that you want to keep it. Like, it's not super hard, but it's a little more difficult. So if you're new to painting or if you're doing this with your kiddos, then I would suggest a paint pen. And I will tell you guys my favorite paint pens in a second. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm really glad y'all are here. I'm excited to be on Maker's Gonna Make. All right, so my favorite paint pen is a Posca pen, Posca. If you've been in this painting circle for a while, you've probably heard of these pens. They are really good. They will go right on top of acrylic paint. You can do them on wood or different things. Also in my Amazon store. All right, this one's kind of a mess. One thing you definitely want to make sure before you use a paint pen is that your paint is dry. It will really kind of mess things up if your paint's not dry. So I'm just going to start tracing around everything that needs to be black. And again, if you don't have a paint pen, you can do this with a liner brush. And it'll work just fine. And you're just kind of tracing over those Sharpie lines that you already did. But it just is going to be a brighter line. It's going to clean everything up a little bit. And that's what you want. I think that yellow paint is still kind of wet. And go over my peace sign. Go around my bumper. Go around this. That was still wet. So I'm gonna I got paint all over the tip of this. I'm gonna wipe it off. Keep on going. Okay, now I'm gonna do this line. The string of lights. Which is still kind of there because we did it with Sharpie, but it's kind of disappearing a little bit. All right, now you can really see it. Gifts. Go over those. Now, you can do the little bows on your gifts with paint, but I've just been doing them with paint pen. And here's a bow. There's a bow. Just tracing what I already traced on there, right? Because you already did this earlier. So we're just tracing back over it. So now I got some gifts and a little holder on top of the car. We need to trace our light bulbs, which we've painted over quite a bit at this point, so might be hard to see. And there's not a ton of light bulbs on here, so if you are feeling excited and you want to add some more, definitely do that. All right, looking better. Hey, Angel said it looks like a fun painting. It is a fun painting. If you want the tracer, go to my website, hometownpaints.com, and the tracer is right there for you. It's free. And if you want all the supply lists and instructions and all that, make sure you're on the Maker's Gonna Make page, and I've uploaded it to the files in all of those places. All right, so we outlined everything that we need to outline. You could have done that with a liner brush and paint, but I use a paint pen. But I'm going to go back to my liner brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of gray, so black and white, mix it up a little bit, and just do this. Just kind of go back and forth in the window. No big deal. It just kind of makes it look like a window. I'm also going to do that on the back of my tires with this liner brush. And then I'm going to do that underneath my tires, like in the snow. So it's just a gray. You decide how dark you want that gray. I'm just mixing up black and white. All right, so that is done. Wash my brush up. You know what I forgot? I forgot to put our word in there. Let me grab this real fast. Okay, so I'm going to write jolly. You can write whatever you want. And again, paint pen helps you 8,000% right here. 8,000%. You could put your last name back there, like your family name. You could put, I don't know, whatever the heck you want to put, y'all. Okay, so what do we have left to do? We have some highlights, some snow, and the lights. And then I'm going to show you this fun trick to make it look like real snow. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay, so if you are still here, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging on. This is a long one. How long have we been on here? I'm trying to see. I can't find it. I guess 45 minutes because I started at 10. Okay. Liner brush. I'm going to add some little white highlights on my car. Just a liner brush and some white paint. Nothing too scary about that. Just kind of streak it on there. Also threw some in my lights. Jazzes that up a little bit. All right, now I'm going to get my bigger brush, which is that angle brush, and the one that we did all that poofy stuff on the trees with. And I'm going to dip into the white, and I'm going to put some, well, if I can keep it straight, some blobs of snow on our trees because they should be dry by now. And we're just going to do the same thing. Just blob it on there. Kind of at the top because it's going to hit the top first, right? And that's where it's going to stick. And if your trees aren't dry, definitely get them dry before you do this part. You don't want green snow. And you can do this kind of thick, like put a whole bunch of paint on there and it'll really start to look like snow. Where else do I want to put some snow? I didn't put snow at the top of my car last on the other one, but I'm going to here. So again, white paint. My bigger brush and just blob it on there. I didn't put any snow on my car on the other one. What was I thinking? All right, so there is a bunch of snow. The other thing that I want to do is put some down here, and I have gotten black in there. That's not what I want. Just in random places, just kind of put some blobs of snow down here. This makes it like a little bit more realistic around the bottoms of our trees. I think that has green in it. Okay, starting to look like a car, like a fun Christmas holiday car. All right, we're gonna put our light bulbs on here, and then I'm gonna show you my fun snow trick. And I'm running out of red paint. I'm just using the colors that I already have out here, red, blue, and yellow for my lights. Again, you can use whatever you want, and I just stuck my hand in paint. And you can try to like alternate these things and go around. I am making a mess. I'm getting this all over me. You can go, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You can paint the colors of lights in however you want them to be. Doesn't matter. But I was trying not to put red where over my red car. You can, but it's going to stand out a little better if you don't do that. So blue or yellow is going to work best when the lights are in the car. And red and yellow is going to work best up here where there's blue. I'll put blue right here. That part might be hard for y'all to see, but hopefully the tracer worked out for you and you know what I'm doing. Did I get them all? I think so. I think so. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you like it at this point, and then you're like, I love it and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it on the wall. It's gonna be beautiful right by my Christmas tree. But if you want something that looks like real snow, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Not really a secret. Other people do this, but it's a secret. Okay, so you want your white paint, and if you ever use like artist grade acrylic paint, you don't want to use that for this. You still want that like cheapy craft paint. Okay, you want thin paint because you're also going to water it down just a tad. And my water is so dirty. I'm about to have dirty snow. So you want a fan brush, and you might be able to do this with other things, but fan brushes work well. So a fan brush looks like that. It looks like a broom to me, like it just kind of fans out. It's like flat and then gets really wide and fans out. You're gonna get some water in your brush, and you're gonna dip your brush into white watered down paint. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take another brush and hold our fan brush over the top and tap. There is nothing that I have ever tried to do that has worked so well as this. If you want your snowy pictures to look like snow has fallen on them, this is what you do. Get a fan brush. And I'm doing it everywhere. I'm doing it all the way down to the bottom. Because I love this. I put this on all kinds of stuff. I just love the way this looks. I put it on a flower painting the other day. Look at all that snow. You probably can't see it. I hope you can see it. All right, let me lift it up. Can you see it? Okay. I'm very excited that you guys hung out with me. I'm going to flip this back to this. Here we go. I'm really excited that you hang out with me today and painted with me. I can't wait to see your paintings. If you enjoyed this today, here we go, this crazy weird hat that won't sit straight. If you enjoyed painting with me today, shift that. I'm doing another online paint party. It's $15, and we are painting 2 nights. We are painting that vintage Santa porch hanger, not porch hanger, door hanger, the vintage Santa door hanger, and that barn quilt back there. I'm going to give you the templates for both of those. The barn quilt, you can paint any way you want it. I will give you the pattern, and I'll tell you what to buy, the size wood and all that. And, you know, if you don't want yours black and white, I've painted them all sorts of colors. Then you can paint them whatever colors you want to paint. But it's online, so it's available to anybody and everybody. And you can find the link to that also on my website, www.hometownpaints.com. I want to thank Suze for letting me hang out with you guys today and paint with you guys. I had a great time. And if you have any questions or need anything else from me, you can follow me at Hometown Paints and just ask away. I'm happy to help you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. If it's night, wherever you are, I hope it's wonderful for you right now. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. See you later.